And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup number 62. I do apologize for the break, but I hope you enjoyed the brutal OST as we have returned, and we're here to find out who faces off against Baby Marine in those grand finals. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing System Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. Oh my god. Jesus. What's going on? as we're getting ready here. He was like, I have brain damage. Oh no. Oh god. What's going on? As my ping is okay. I'm just quickly checking just to make sure we're not affecting the players in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, it looks like we have some latency issues, and hopefully they can be resolved. If we need to restart the game, then of course we can. But it looks like okay. Yeah, Gerald, he's saying that he's lagging on his end, so we'll have to wait for that. Oh god. Eva's so feisty today. He's so feisty. Gerald's like, oh, I'm lagging. And then Eva's like, we know. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, looks like the issues have resolved. And we're jumping back in. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Red Zerg player from the land of the UK, the Zerg representative of today's tournament, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will it go the way of the Protoss or the Zerg? Up to you to decide. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck with your gamba. Oh, as we are settling in, it's going to be a initially hatch gas pool opener out of Eva, forcing the unnatural natural. And Eba was expressing his disdain of, ZVP. Definitely has his thoughts about the Protoss race, and was tempted to play Protoss himself, but again, as I mentioned before, is out of practice with his Protoss. Otherwise, I'm sure he would off-race. No. Otherwise, we are going to be settling in. It's going to be a gate expanded Cybercore standard opener here out of Gerald. Nothing too crazy, not yet. Likewise, Eva settling to his own opener. Now, despite Eva, expressing his thoughts about the matchup, he's not the most cheesiest of players. He does play very mid-game oriented, more often than not. We don't often see Eva embrace these kind of German taxis or queen walks across the map. It's not really his style, at least not too often. Not too often. As link speed is on the way, Eva does pull out of gas. Gerald's being as annoying as possible. Oh my god, he almost gets the drone. He wants it. Oh my god. He wants the drone. Doesn't get it. Calm down. Gerald will back off, and back at home it is going to be a Stargate opener. A Stargate in the main, working towards Oracles. Third is going to be forced back, and Eva will take a third. Third base is being taken. Gerald does confirm. Again, just making sure that everything's as it should be. And speaking of scouting, Gerald does follow up with those adepts. Meanwhile, Eva does make a wave of lings. 6 more lings on the way. Will allow him not just to keep up with the adept, but also counterattack and deny the third base. We'll see what Eva can get done. Shall see as he does shade into the main, threatening the low ground, but lings are keeping up, the queen as well, and the adept should not get a drone kill. Does get away, joins up with the second adept, link speed kicks in, and now Eva can collapse on these adepts, does force a recall, one adept goes down, and now we can go for a counterattack and try and deny and delay the third. Third base has been thrown down. Lings are on the way. Oracle is getting in position. Yeah, save movement here for Gerald. Dipping in, leading off some Lings, joining up back at home, getting to his queen production, spores as well. We should be having 2 queens in the main base, spore alongside spores and queens at both other locations as well. So these oracles shouldn't get much done. Shouldn't. Eva has the tools to defend. We'll see if he can keep up. Likewise, Lings will threaten the third. Oracles making their way towards that natural. We have the spore, but the queen's not quite ready. The oracles do dip in. Up. Dip in, catching some transferring workers. 2 drones go down. Not bad. We do get 2 workers. And we're looking for a third. But Gerald is going to be zoned away. And Eva is getting into +1 melee. This tells us that it's most likely going to be Ling Bane into Hydra. Most likely going to be skipping Roaches. I mean, the Roach Warren would already be thrown down by now. So Eva being a little bit greedy, and he shouldn't really be punished for it. As Geralt likewise is working towards Blink. And +1. Forge is on the way for upgrades. Third base getting saturated. We are going to be settling into Oceanborn. Again, this map, I mean, we're not strangers to Zerg players going for these big Roach all-ins and Queen all-ins on Oceanborn, but again, Eva's not really working towards that. Just happily joining up, macroing up. Gerald moving out. His goal here is to deny the 4th. Eva did double expand. And can we deny the expansion? Eva not quite ready. Base takes a lot of hits. Geralt focusing his attention on the queens. The queens are tempting. The queens are tempting, but we will force a cancel. And reinforcements did arrive at the 4th base is denied. So far, so good. We denied the 4th base. Getting a creep tumor. Lings flood in. And the oracles will, they will punish this dive. I say that the queens do focus on the oracle. Oh, they get 1. 1 oracle goes down. Stalkers are not being cleaned up. We have reinforcements. That was a brutal trade. That was 30 Lings for 3 Stalkers and 3 Adepts. Oh, oh god. Not the best trade here for Eva. Bearing in mind that the 4th base was cancelled as well, but we do have a backup 4th on the way. Is now done. And Geralt, he does reinforce, and this time he's pushing in with Blink. Blink has completed his own 4th base, getting up and running as well. Getting saturated. Eva will confirm. Geralt does catch a queen. 1 queen goes down. The Blinks are looking solid here against the Lynx as well. The Stalkers are getting low. Geralt will hold. He does hold his own. Pushing forward towards that 4th base. Is under fire. But Hydras are now popping in. Again, he's been defending and trying to survive long enough to get into Hydra Lurker. Lurker Den is on the way. It's about to finish up. And once we morph in some Lurkers, we hold. And there it is. The first couple of Lurkers are being morphed in. Eva is holding. Very quickly, Eva can turn the tables here on Geralt. Waiting for a big Ling run by. Hits the 3rd. Same time, Geralt trying to force the issue. Shield battery goes down. We do have a Zealot warp in. Total defense solid reaction so far to Geralt. Bearing in mind these are Lair-Tech Lurkers that don't have range. They don't have the range upgrade. So they haven't really added too much to the fight yet. Oh! Until now. You get a revelation. Geralt's still reinforcing. But that lurker count, we had 2, we're getting up to 8. 8 lurkers on the way. We're getting into a decent economy. Held on to the 4th, now getting a 5th. At the same time, Geralt going for a Zealot run by. And the 5th base is exposed. But we do catch the Stalkers. We try to. The Zealot run by does distract Eva. Does turn around, does race back. And will defend. We'll manage to hold on. Now, as we're defending, as we're getting to our higher and higher lurker counts, Gerald is responding to this with a robo-based army. We have Immortal production on the way. Immortals, Archon, Storm. Groundhouse can still deal with these mass lurker compositions, but it does require a lot of Immortals. And Gerald, he's just now starting his Immortal production. So Gerald needs time. And until he gets into a higher Immortal count, Eva can soon max and then break out. Eva can soon break free. Speaking of, Lings do hit the 5th. They're going to surround and they're going to force, they're going to get a kill. It's going to cost a lot of Lings, but it is worth it. That is going to be a, oh, do we save it? No shot. Oh my god. We saved the base. 44 HP and we get across the map ourselves. And Gerald, he does hit the 5th base and he will bring it down. The Nexus does fall. Ah, rough moment for Eba. He invested so heavily into that Ling runway. That was 57 Lings. Oh my god. The Nexus lives, the hatchery goes down. Now with these lurkers, we still kind of push in. Oh my god, the spine shots are brutal. Yeah, pushing up this ramp, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work out well here for Gerald. He has to back off. Lurker's going for a counterattack. How many immortals do we have? 4. Not bad. Yeah, 4 immortals. Lurkers do borrow. Do we have a revelation? No observer. No revelation. The Oracle goes down. Big pick up. We have 1 observer with the main army. 1 observer coming in. Up! The snipe! Oh, we don't get it. The observer does live. Lings trying to come in for a surround, collapsing on the immortals. The Lings are annihilated. Immortals are getting low. We get 1, we get 2, we get almost 3. The immortals are going down. We do catch out the lurkers. They're exposed. With Zel's coming in to reinforce, we're getting on top of the lurkers. It's a very close fight, but the immortals are going down. It looks like Eba, he will take the fight. He shuts down the immortals. He's breaking on through. The mass lurker is paying off. Again, just a really awkward engage there for Gerald. Not what he wanted. Fighting out in the open. And Eba, he's doing it. He's breaking through. Up. Gets the final immortal, and he's came for the production. Immortals, they're popping out, but they're popping out within range of the lurkers. And the rovers are going down. And Eba, he's done it. He's breaking the back of Gerald. These immortals, they were the answer. They were his answer to the lurkers. And there's none left. The Zels are getting us around. They will clean this up. For the most part, still 2 lurkers remaining. Just enough to bring down the robo. Getting 1 and they're getting the other. Just barely. Both rovers go down. Now Gerald, even if he survives this, and he will clean up the lurkers, he will survive. He's stuck on 4 bases. Still stuck on 4 bases. Eba is remaxing. Building on more Lings, more Hydras. The lurker count was reset, but we actually have 1 lurker back at home. Vipers are amassing as well. Eba, he's doing it. Eba. He had no faith. He had no faith in his Zerg. He was tempted to play Protoss, but no. He could do it, Pappy. We brought it back. Oh. We're going for one of the Immortals. Vipers get sniped. The Immortal does go down. Hydra's coming in from behind. We set up a surround. Yeah, the surround is brutal. The Archons fall. And Eba, he has done it. He's broken the back of Gerald. There's just not much left over. Just gateway units. No more immortals, no disruptors, no splash damage. Just Zelts and Stalkers. And a dream. And alas, Eba, he's crushing the dream, Pappy. Making his own. So we just keep reinforcing across the map. It's not the cleanest of fights here for Eba, as all these ults are trading very well. But with these 2 lurkers, it should be enough. And with that, Gerald is down to his last units. 5 more zealots, 3 more stalkers. He doesn't want to tap out. He doesn't want to give up. He knows that he's the favorite player. And even with these reinforcements, he's looking at the Hydras. Oh my god. But at the same time, Lings, they just ignore the 4th base. They go for the 3rd. They bust into the mineral line. 17 probes. 18 workers even. We eviscerate the economy at the 3rd base. And Eba just barely doesn't have enough to kill Gerald outright. He just needs to take a moment to breathe and to just gather up his forces, consolidate his army. But alas, it looks like he finally breaks through. GG gets called, and Eba will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Eba will take a lead in the series. As a reminder, this is a best of 3. Eba needs 1 more Unamas to claim the series. Hold on, I have to message Eba. I have to at this point. Let's go. So jumping into game number 2, it's going to be on Golden Aura. We go. And we'll see if Eba can close it out, or if Gerald can fight back. Just catching up in the chat. Is this Eba on Twitch, Eba_SE2? Yes. The Protoss main. As it looks like our players need a moment here. They need a moment to recover after that intense game. Understandable. Before jumping into game 2. As a reminder, Baby Marine is waiting for the winner of the series. Waiting for either a Protoss or a Zerg player. And coming into this, as a reminder, I mean, again, Gerald is the favorite player here, but alas, just was unable to break Eba before he got into his lurker production. Likewise, Gerald took a little bit longer to really get into his own immortals as well. If you remember, when Eba broke out, there were only 4 immortals for Gerald, and he forced the fight out in the open as well, out exposed to the elements, you know, without any shield barriers to support, without any kind of choke point to take advantage of. Gerald was not ready for a fight, and before he could really reach his final form, Eba did catch him off guard. GG. GG well played. A solid game there out of Eba, but I'm sure Gerald will take a different approach this time. Does often, you know, or can often mix it up here and be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more assertive. We'll see what direction Gerald does take us in. Oh, we're getting there. Also, I did notice all the puns. I don't know what happened in the chat. But the puns, they went crazy. Oh, God. Why don't zealots give hugs? Because they cannot hold. What do you call a huge stack of supply? Pylons. Oh, God. I can't. The cringe. What do you call a smiling caster? Lighting up. Let's go. Why was the Protoss player defeated in the base race? Because they made too many Colossus. Okay, we're gonna take a break. You know what's crazy? Aistan isn't even the one doing it. Right? This is what I expect out of Aistan. He's not even here. Not even punning in the chat. Shaking my head. I still blame him, though. He's influenced all of you. In a negative way. Oh, God. As we're now getting into game 2, looks like our players are ready. They just needed a moment to you know, catch their breath. And now we can jump into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of GoldenEye, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is Gerald. Down in the series, he has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the opponent. We have the red Zerg player going gas first. Okay, going for a 15-15. For a moment there, I was like, mate, are we going gas first? No. Going for a safe opener. We have the red Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of the UK. It is Eba. One game away from making it to the grand finals. Let's go. So again, a very safe opener. 15-15 is just a way to get your natural base before the probe arrives. If you remember on Oceanborn, Eba was forced to take the unnatural, natural force to expand elsewhere. This time with this specific build, we're able to get it down before the probe does arrive, so we're able to have a little bit more of a secure start to the game. The downside, of course, being that your gases are delayed, as it is a 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool into a delayed gas. This does mean that your ling speed is going to be later. This also means that because of the later ling speed, the punishment or the attempted denial of the third isn't going to be as viable here for Eba. So Gerald can be a little bit safer and more secure back at home, at least in the early game. Here we go. Eba is just going to be droning up. I'm also curious as to when the gases are going to be taken. We have seen some players actually delay the gases quite heavily until they get a third base up and running. But we'll see. We'll see when Eba does take his own gas. Meanwhile, back at home, gate expanded, Cybercore standard opener out of Gerald. Pylon has been thrown down in between the natural and the third. Curious whether this is going to be a Stargate or a Twilight Council. Both are options. Did have the Stargate opener previously in game number 1, but there it is, Twilight Council. Twilight Council has been thrown down a little bit further back behind or next to the gas geyser, going to be a little bit more difficult to scout. And do we go for the Dark Templar or Glaive Adepts? I'm leaning towards DTs, but we'll keep an eye on Gerald to see if he pulls out a gas, see how hard he commits. I see the chat. Eba, he's a little bailing. He's walking to school. It's beautiful. It's wholesome. As gases are now being taken. See here at the natural, first gas. Likewise, we have not pulled out, so it looks like Geralt is going for a Dark Shrine. It's not an all-in, but it's a good way to get some damage done, apply some pressure, and work towards a third base, and work towards the mid-game. As an absolute third in the shade. Keeping Eba busy. There's that Dark Shrine we did mention. Again, we've not pulled out a gas with the excess gas. It's going to be for the Prism into Dark Templar. And if the DTs don't get much damage done, if there is detection ready, then they can always morph into Archons and go for Overlord kills. They can snipe Overlords, they can threaten Mineral Lines, the Queens as well. There are layers here to the aggression of Geralt. Meanwhile, because of the late gases, there's no link speed, so these adepts, they have more free reign. They have a lot more potential to get damage done. They'll be dipping in. Getting a drone in the main. Getting 2. Almost a third. Almost. 2 drone kills in the main. Their base is now being taken. Link speed just now began. So again, without link speed, we can't really punish this expansion. And the War Prism is moving out. Now, do we have spores? We have a spore at the natural. We don't have one in the main. We do have one on the way at the third base. So the main is exposed, is a little bit more vulnerable. There we go. The spore just now began. And can we get into the main base? Looks like the Prism is spotted. Queens do rotate, and they will zone it away. Nice defense so far by Eba. We zone away the Prism. DTs are morphing in. They do fan out. Catching some tumors. threading this area in between the natural and the third. But there is detection. DTs have to back off. And Roach production has begun. Oh, meanwhile, DT does slip into the main. Not bad. 4 drones go down, even with detection. The army was out of position. Gerald will pick up. We'll get the hell out of there. And behind this, we are not just getting into Immortal production, we're rushing into a bay into Disruptors. Okay. And this is designed to pop out just in time to defend against a Roach counterattack. Speaking of, Lings do make their way across the map. But there's a shield battery. And we do have Warpins. Gerald does defend. Meanwhile, Archons are morphing in. And again, with the War Prism alongside the Archons, we can try to hunt down Overlords or try to find some more damage. That's why the Roaches are necessary to deal with those Archons. And Eba is stuck at home. Eba, he's contained on 3 bases, now getting a 4th, but stuck at home nonetheless. Droning up, taking up into a lair, into Roach speed. Once Roach speed kicks in, then we can counterattack. Until then, we are still stuck. Archon into the third. Denies mining. Gets 1 drone kill. Moving over towards the 4th base. Meanwhile, Eba taking up into Hydras. This tells us that Eba doesn't really intend to go for a 3-way all-in. Isn't going to commit into Ling Roach Ravager, taking up towards Hydras into Lurkers. Meanwhile, Disruptors are popping out. Yeah, the first Disruptor has arrived. Gerald freely expanding, taking another base. There's not really much that can really threaten him. Wardling, yes, Wardling to school, yes. Ah, wholesome. Eba is going to be staying at home teching, droning up, getting up to 80 workers, getting his 4th base up and running. And Eba is making his way in towards Hive Tech. Infestation Pit, Hive Tech, and the Lunkers are on the way. They're coming. They are coming. Now, before we get into Lurker Tech, the scary thing is the Disruptor Army. The Disruptor Army of Geralt is moving out, and Eba is not ready yet. Has invested enough just to stay alive, just to repel an attack. But this is a little bit more committed. Nova's going to be going up. Oh! Takes down a Hydra. Takes down a Roach. Nothing major. At the same time, Prism into the main, going for a massive warp in. And DTs have arrived. Massive Zella warp into the main base, and we are pulling Eba apart. We do pick off 1 Disruptor. But the Immortal is doing so much in the back line. And we're still getting out of hand in the main. And we're going to be forced to evacuate. Nice connection here on the drones. And the Archons, they get on top of the Hydras. Hydras are going down. Expensive losses for Eba. Meanwhile, in the main base, looks like Eba has cleaned up the army. That's a kill on the 4th. And Geralt, he recalls back home. Does lose the Archons, but saves a Disruptor and an Immortal. Not a bad save here for Geralt. And Eba, he's stuck on a 3-base economy. Trying to afford Lurker Tech, which is quite expensive. The Hive is done. But the Lurker upgrades, they did just now begin. Still stuck on Roach Hydra. Geralt taking another base. 184 workers. Does currently have the better economy. Eba may have to double expand. Our Hydra's going down. Lurker production has begun. We have our first 2 Lurkers. Let's go. We have the Lunkers. Shout out to the Tuna, by the way. As Geralt is being forced back at Eba, he is successfully just buying time and building up a higher Lurker count. Likewise, especially because we scouted the Disruptors earlier, Vipers are on the way. That is going to be the answer to Disruptors. to shut them down. Just building up more lurkers, as many as we can. Storm is still not yet done. Finishing up in a couple of seconds. Moving out. Running into lurkers, numbers go up, and we do catch two of them. Two lurkers go down. Big pickoff. Not a bad start. War Prism sneaking in behind the main army into the natural. Going for another big Zealot Warp in, but Lings have arrived. They will be able to shut this down. At the same time, Big Ling counterattack hits the 5th base. Ooh, Gerald was not ready for this. We do lose the workers. And we're going for the base! We're going for the Nexus. And the Nexus, it looks like it is going to go down. At the same time, Gerald trying to push forward. And it's going to be close. Oh, do we save it? No shot. We do! Gerald, he saves the base. The Nexus survives. The Nexus does live. The Prism's still alive here at the corner of the map. Nova's going up. The Viper is ready. We're ready for the yoink, for the abduction. Roaches, they will clean up that base. The feedback. Viper does get feedbacked. Eba only has the one Viper. Just the one Viper here for Eba. Has to be so careful with it. As Nova's going to be going up, we take down 2 more of these lurkers. And one Viper is not going to cut it. Not especially with High Templar on the field. With those feedbacks. Another warping into the main. Gerald's rotating over. Attempting to outposition Eba. Attempting. DT's more fin, and they're going for the Hive. No detection. No shot. Detection is too late, and the Hive goes down. Massive pickoff. You know what that means? No more Vipers. I was concerned about the low Viper count earlier, and we can't make any more. Not without a Hive. So Eba is stuck on one Viper. Massive Nova goes off. Takes down the Hydras. Massive connection on the Hydras. Eba backing off, rotating around. Is maxed out, but doesn't have the ideal army. And we're going for a base trade. Eba, he's had enough. He's like, you know what? You keep your disruptors. I'm just going across the map. I'm sending it back. Going for the rovers. Gerald does turn around. Turns back around. We set up a surround. Novas go off. Taking out 2 more lurkers. But the Immortals, they do walk in. And we need that detection. Oh, the storms are brutal. Hydras are going down. And Gerald should be able to clean this up as we have more storms coming in. A feedback as well takes down the Viper. We get a full surround. There's still 2 lurkers left. The detection needs to come in. The Novas are insane. Yeah, the lurkers are being cleaned up, and Eba doesn't have enough. GG gets called, and Gerald will top the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played again. A strong start for Gerald, even though Eba was able to successfully get into his lurkers. Unfortunately, wasn't able to really move out, wasn't able to really engage with the main army. Only ever had 1 Viper, never able to really abduct, to yoink, to really make use of it, to pick away at the army. The disruptors were popping off. They were really gaining a lot of value there. Gerald was able to just pull Eba apart. I do want to say kind of the standout moments for Geralt in that final game, or in that last game, were his counterattacks, like Zealot Warpins into the main time and time again, just distracting Eba and creating these moments, creating these opportunities where Geralt was able to take advantage of Eba. And with that, we're headed to the ace match. We're going the distance, going to game 3. Let's go. Going all the way to game 3. And not just Zealot Warpins, but DTs as well, of course, even towards the end, sniping the Hive, making sure we had no more Vipers. And now it all ends on site Delta. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the blue Polish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Eva. Go. As this time Eva is going for a standard hatch gas pool, that means that his natural base is denied, and Eva will have to expand elsewhere. He is forced to take the unnatural natural instead. And we'll see if Gerald tries to take advantage of this. As a reminder, Gerald in the last game did open up Twilight Council into DTs. We could see even Glaives here in the ace match. We'll see. We'll see what Gerald does decide to go for. So he could try to take advantage of the fact that Eva is a little bit more spread out and spread thin. So now Gerald is just setting up. Gate expand into Cybercore. Standard opener out of Gerald. And with this faster gas, unlike the previous game, Eva will be able to embrace link speed a lot faster and threaten the bases and threaten the third base of Gerald a little bit more earlier on than the previous game. Gerald just being as annoying as possible. As usual, with that probe. He's a menace with that first probe. It's terrifying. Not just in this matchup, but in PvT as well. Stay away. And we spoke about that Twilight Council, and there it is. Twilight Council has been thrown down. Last game it was DTs. This time, do we pull out? Do we embrace the Glaives? I mentioned before that because of the base setup here from Eva, I mean, Twilight Council opener is slightly more effective than usual. Just because Eva is spread thin, you can kind of pick and choose if you want to try to break into the third base or into the natural, and Eva will have a little bit less to defend than they otherwise would. Meanwhile, we have pulled out of gas somewhat. I'm getting mixed signals. Okay, we pull back in. We pull back in DTs. It's going to be another Dark Shrine here from Gerald. It is going to be the same opener he went for in the previous game. And we'll see if he's as successful, or even more so. As the Dark Shrine should soon be thrown down. And there it is. Dark Shrine is on the way. Eva going to be in the dark. But we'll eventually piece together that it is not a Stargate opener, and we should be seeing Spores, Roachwarren, our same defensive setup that we saw in the previous game. Should be similar. Should it be similar? Slings are keeping tabs on Gerald. Spores are on the way. Safety Roachwarren as well. 4-minute Roachwarren. Very safe play here from Eva. We have the Spore at the natural. No Spore anywhere else yet. War Prism's moving out. And I am a little bit concerned here if we skip the Spore at the third. Uh-oh. Lair is on the way. That will help. There we go. Spore just now beginning here at the third base. The main is exposed though, and we could go right for it. Yeah, the Prism is spotted. DTs are warping in. Spore the main base, almost halfway done. And Eva shouldn't lose much here. Yeah, we're ready for it. Eva is ready. DTs they head towards the main. The Spore just now finishing up, just in time. The Prism is exposed. No! We overextend! And Gerald does overextend. Massive pickoff. Prism goes down. And Gerald caught with his pants down there. Ay, ay, ay. And Eva, this is a very strong start. Able to drone up, and he's headed for the Spire. He's crazy. Taking all of his gases. Gases are being taken. We're rushing into mute attack. Bold move here by Eva. But I mean, behind this, there's no Blink. There's no Blink Stalkers. There's no Stargate. We do have Archons, and Archons, sure, they can hold their own against Mutas, but Archons are not the most mobile of units. They have a hard time keeping up, and Mutas can avoid them. So this is a bold move here by Eva, but if it goes unscouted, it can straight up end the game. Here we go. So we have the initial disruptor on the way. Again, robo-based units getting ready for a Roach counterattack. Archon drop coming in. They do shut down the initial Grief Tumor. Archon getting low. Up. Oh my god, the juggling! Can we save it? We can! The Queen goes down. A handful of roaches as well. Not a bad trade here from Gerald, but we're keeping him busy, we're keeping him distracted, and here come the mutas. 7 mutas from Eva. That is enough to one-shot. Interesting. It's going to be 7 mutas, but we're going into Hydras behind this. Okay. So Eva is tech switching. +1 air attack or +1 flyer attack is on the way. Mutas are moving out. Meanwhile, Geralt is doubling down, reinforcing on the front lines. Can Eva hold? Never goes off. Doesn't connect. Eva pulls away in time. Mutas, they get across the map, and Geralt is not ready. He's just caught with his pants down once again. He's not ready for this. We have some vanilla stalkers, but they don't have blink. They cannot blink. So the main army does engage. Geralt is going to be able to break through. Massive Nova connects. But Blink isn't ready yet. And Geralt is being punished for that. At the same time, Mutas, they hit the third base. They're getting some damage. 9 probe kills. Not bad. 1 Muta goes down. We rotate towards the third. Or the natural even. Getting up to 10 probe kills. And we're still not done. Will cost us some more mutas. And remember, as we bleed off mutas, we don't really care too much about them as we're getting to Hydra production. Hydras are building up. I'm sure Eva is hoping that Geralt overreacts and over-responds, but as we can see, there is no Stargate. There's no, like, Stargate response into Phoenixes. We're dealing with it with just purely Blink Stalker. And we will shut down the mutas. And just the 1 muta left. Geralt does defend. But Eva has been able to take advantage of this kind of breathing room that he has gained. Geralt has been stuck at home, which means Eva can take a 4th base, get it fully saturated, drone up to 74, and focus on Roach Hydra Lurker. So Lurker 10 is on the way. It goes off. Oh, we dodged the Nova! We still lose the Hydra though. Nova going off once again. Better connection. Better connection for Geralt. But the Roach Hydra is going to be overwhelming. And there's no disruptors left. Just the 2. The Novas need a little bit more time to reset. 1 Muta does get across the map once again. Takes him into the main. The Hydra's in position. And they zone away the drop. Go towards the 4th. The Novas, they raise the army. There's 1 Nova left. And once again, it zones, but no major connection. Which means Eva can start a step forward. The Hive is almost done. We have the Lurker Den, but no Lurker upgrades yet. We're getting there. You see Geralt just bleeding off a little bit too much. War Prism is denied. The Hive is now done, and we can embrace those upgrades. And there they are. We have Adrenal on the way. We have Roach range as well. Roach? Lurker range as well. Seismic Spines. Eva is maxed out. Getting on top of the Stalkers. The Novas are still something we have to respect. But the Lurkers have arrived. The Lunkers are coming in. Never goes up. Good connection. But the Lurkers, they hold her and they take down the Disruptor. Gerald, he cannot keep up. DT counterattack. No Spore. Uh-oh. Or there was one, but it was focused down. And can we snipe the base? We can! Oh, just barely! The base goes down. The Spore and the Hatchery. Meanwhile, a Warp in into the main. Disruptors, Stalkers as well. Gerald trying to pull the main army apart, fighting out of range of the Lurkers. Hatching, transferring drones. 8 drones go down.
Game paused.
8 drones do go down, but it looks like we do have a little bit of latency. Oh. Just making sure everything's... Oh, okay. Oh, oh God! They're so fast! Jeez. It looks like there was only like for just a couple of seconds. As we are now jumping back in. As Eva does counterattack, the Nova does go off. Massive connection. Massive connection there for Eva. Still has the Lurker advantage. Dragging the army within range. Eva pulling away as we take a moment to breathe here. And Gerald is on a 4-base economy. Eva likewise on 3 bases. The 4th base was killed. The 5th base unsaturated. Eva does not have the best economy. Bear that in mind. Is joining up as we speak and making 8 more Lurkers. Does have the better army, but still needs time to really get it going. It's still a very tense moment and could go either way. I want to give the edge to Eva, but against these Disruptors, anything can happen. Against Disruptors and not Storm. Is no Storm for the High Templar, just feedbacks. Those don't connect. Link's trying to come in from behind. Yeah, we're setting up the surround. Setting up the flank even. Novas, once again, they don't quite connect. And he was pushing in towards the 4th. Lurkers getting within range. To avoid those Novas. 2 Lurkers do go down. But Eva, he's gaining ground, he's pushing in. Can he do it? He's so close. He's so close to breaking Gerald. Just needs a little bit more, as that's a lot of Disruptors. That's a lot of Novas. Yeah, as it looks like we have control of the 4th base, the Nexus is going to go down. And behind this Eva, he's maxing out. He is maxing out. He's getting to his own Vipers, additional Vipers on the way. Would you respect those Disruptors? Nova's going up. Oh my God, massive connections. 3 Lurkers go down. Lurkers do full across the map. 9 drones full as well to the DT. Eva still does not have the best economy. He wants the 3rd, and he's gonna get it. I say that does take down at least the shield batteries. Big Novas, big connections. Oh my God. The kind of feedback. 1 Disruptor goes down, but these Novas have been insane. Massive connections. The 33 drones go down. We have DTs in both bases. The north and the south, and suddenly he was in trouble. Suddenly he was in a lot of trouble. He lost too many Lurkers. He lost too many workers as well. And Eva, he can barely hold his own. Very quickly, everything's swinging in favor of Gerald. He wants the Viper. He's gonna get it. Viper goes down. Eva is struggling. And speaking of transferring workers, we catch more drones. More drones going down. Link's going for a big counterattack. Getting the fresh mining base. Ooh, the lurker shots are brutal. Oh, sorry, I should say the disruptor shots are brutal. Lurkers do go down. At the same time, Eva does find a mineral line. Does find a base. Nova's going up, catching another lurker. Meanwhile, this Ling Rambai has found a lot of damage. Lings, they hit the third. Going for the shield battery. Nova's going up. The northern hatchery is going to go down. And we get four more lurkers. Oh my god. Very expensive losses. And Eva's being outpositioned. Gerald comes back in. Eva trying to keep up. The Nidus. The disruptor shots. No, this is what I was going for. It's been a long day. I do regret laddering before casting because I spent a lot of my brain power like laddering instead. A lot of it was spent there. It's been catching even more lurkers. That's been 22 lurkers going down. And another. Yeah, the trades have been brutal. And we're getting into one of the most crucial mining bases here of Eva. Across the map at the same time, Eva also collapsing on the third. And he forces a recall. Does force a recall, gets a kill on the fourth Nexus. And we need to take a moment to have a look at the armies. It's going to be 8 disruptors against 4 lurkers and 1 Viper. Hydras have a hard time holding their own. Lurkers are being sniped, one after the other. Barely any lurkers left. Now without lurkers, how do we hold? How do we fight back? Down to 3 lurkers, 6 more on the way. Uh-oh. But they're in a precarious position. And the Novas are popping off. And Gerald, he's bullying his way through. The Novas are insane. As I say that, more disruptors going down. Makes itself getting low. Boys are being pulled. Going for the blinding clouds. Down to 4 disruptors. 1 Nova remaining, 2 Novas remaining even. And no major connections. See Eva barely holding on. The supplies are neck and neck. Massive link counterattack does hit the mineral line. Probes are going down. Gerald, he falls back. As we get almost every single worker here at the third base, DTs will defend. But we force a cancel. And we need those links back at home. We're going for the Nexus. He's going for the base. And he's going to get it. It's so close. The Nexus is barely going to go down. At the same time, Gerald pushing into the natural. We're getting neck and neck here. The Ling Hydra, we get on top of the Immortal. We get on top of the Disruptors. Eva, he's holding. He's doing it. Just barely. Gerald, he's down to 1 base economy, 8 probes. He's running out of steam. He's running out of economy. There's almost nothing left here for Gerald. And Eva, he has a base. That's all he needs. 1 base mining. He can sustain himself. Lings, they catch an Archon. They're catching Stalkers. These are Cracklings essentially with Adrenal. And GG gets called. 1G even as Eva will take the series 2-1. Will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Oh my god. Eva. It was so close. It was so close. It was so clutch. It went down to the wire. Both players barely had any economy. GG. Well played. Eba does barely take it in the end. It went down to the wire, was very back and forth, and again, could have very easily gone the way of Gerald as well. But alas, Eba is going to be our finalist, and it's going to be a ZVT between Eba and Baby Marine. Oh boy, let's go. We're getting ready for those grand finals. As a reminder, before the grand finals, we will have a random raffle. We will be hosting that before the finals, so do get ready. But otherwise, a big shout out to Gerald as well for making it here to the semis. Didn't quite make it to the finals itself. He was favored coming into this series, but Eba did pop off. And what I want to say as well, what I want to emphasize is that these games were not clear cut. They were very messy, very chaotic as well, very intense, and yeah, did barely go the way of the Zerg. Barely go the way of Eba. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations. As we set up for those finals.